Hey guys, Johnny Boatwright and Steve Cooper.
Steve Cooper. I remember.
Still speaking to each other. Anyway, we've been so excited about getting this documentary put together. It started out as a tribute or some informational package, if you will, for our kids and their kids. And then it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so today we're going to start our documentary, if you will. And I hope it's something that you want to see.
Yeah, and we're going way, way, way back before Canyon, because many of you people were Canyon fans and followers, and we thank you and love you for that. But there was an actual beginning in 1979.
Yep.
When I was a solo. I just played by myself, little state clubs, supper clubs. Met Johnny during that time, and we're going to take it from there all the way up through Canyon to give some history about us.
Yeah. We had a neighbor, and she and her husband had gone out to a dinner club the night before called the Loafing Shed.
In Tyler, Texas.
Yeah, here in Tyler. And don't interrupt me again. And she came back just talking about this guy that's such a great singer. And when he did Kenny Rogers songs, it sounded just like him, and just went on and on and on. I thought, well, if he can do a good job on a Kenny Rogers song, he can sing. So we went out that night, and the great singer that he was supposed to be, that guy didn't show up. But Steve.
But they let me in.
You were
Yeah,
there.
they let me in. I'm so proud.
You were there. No, he sang his tail off, and long story a little shorter, thank God. He came over to the table during the break, and we got to know each other. And then next thing I know, he had been invited to come over for dinner, and he agreed to that. And after he said okay, my wife at the time, she said, "Well, that's great. Johnny sings too," and that's the kiss of death right there. And now he's like sweating bullets.
Let me explain that, because you're starting to get boring. Being a musician is like, and I'm gonna say like being a plumber. You don't want to go home and work on your own house. Well, musicians all know this. And when someone comes up and says, "Hey man, I play guitar, why don't you come over to the house, let's play?" You're thinking, what have I gotten into? So we got invited to their home, and Johnny plays what's called a gut string acoustic, and I play a steel string acoustic. And so he and I went in the living room, and I'm thinking, man, I hope this is over in about 20 minutes. And it's been about 43 years now.
Yeah.
But he pulled out that gut string, and I'd never heard him sing, play, anything. And he played a Larry Gatlin song called The Heart. And I'm telling you people, he sang about 4 words, and he was my hero, he was my friend, he was magnificent. And the best part about it is,
true.
and Johnny is, I said I was magnificent. But we all knew this. We knew the same songs,
Yeah.
all the Merle Haggard stuff, and
Yeah.
George Strait and Waylon Jennings, and we all knew the same songs. And of all the talents that Johnny has, which you can list them on one hand, have 4 fingers left. But of all the talent that he has, he is a phenomenal harmony singer. And I'd play a Merle Haggard song, and he'd sing the harmony to it. We had never practiced, never sat down together, but he knew the song already. Because he was like me and other musicians. You play in bands all through high school and growing up. Anyhow, it was a match made in heaven, because he was
Yeah, the blend was there.
Just
the
from
blend
very
was
first
there,
song.
yes.
We both knew it was good, bad, or indifferent. It sounded really great to us. It blended super, super well. And he's a great singer. And like he said a while ago, 43 years later, we're still on speaking terms, more or less.
Sort of, we pass notes
Yes.
back and forth.
But
to carry this for you, getting boring again.
Yeah.
But to carry this a little bit further, I was already traveling as a solo artist. I played steakhouses and different hotel clubs and steak and ales and Gallagher restaurants, where you'd be the little guy in the corner playing in the bar while people wait to go eat their food. Well, I played East Texas a lot, and Johnny traveled East Texas a lot. So he would
Justin Boot Company.
with Justin Boot Company. They couldn't find anybody, so they called Johnny. So he would drop in on me. He'd call and say, "Hey man, where you gonna be this weekend?" I say, "Well, I'm in Dallas at the so and so." He said, "Man, I'm gonna come in on be there Friday, Saturday night." Well, yeah. So he'd blow in, and I tell you, we had the most fun. God gave us both, I hope, a gift, but the ability to work together, and together we were a team.
Yeah.
And we played.
We needed
more
one
and
smart
more.
aleck in the crowd.
Yeah, but
Just
that was
one.
always us. There was two on stage.
We just needed the one.
But anyhow, he would come more and more to where I was playing, and the crowds got bigger. People would hear that we were coming, and every musician out there, whether you play local or whether you play professionally, you can tell when it's going right. And
Yes.
It's a great feeling of accomplishment, because it is not easy taking a guitar or a piano or whatever and sitting down alone in front of a crowd and playing and making them like it. That's a pretty tough job, but we were blessed. And take it from there, Johnny. You need to say something.
For whatever reason, God's design, every time we went back to a club, 2 times, 9 times, whatever, without exception, the crowds got bigger, and they got bigger, and they got bigger. And we would kid around and talk about maybe someday we'd start a band, and it became just like a sideline conversation at that point. But that's how everything got started. You want to start?
Sure. Okay, and we played. Played a lot of clubs in Nacogdoches and Dallas and that area, and one of our mainstays was the Ellen Quail.
Was that the first place we played together?
Probably.
I remembered it that way.
I believe it would have been after we met at the Loafing Shed in Tyler.
Yeah.
And then I played that hotel a good bit. And at that time that I first started, that hotel was owned by Salim and Diane, and I don't recall the last name, and I hate that, but they were the nicest, sweetest people, and they gave me every opportunity to play. They were just extremely gracious people. And we
Great
played,
club.
Great club, and we played there, and Johnny would come in. Of course, I'm from Nacogdoches, and you know, whatever little town you're from and you get any kind of recognition, then you're kind of the, you know, hometown hero, for lack of a better word. But I had so many friends and so many good people in Nacogdoches that would come out and support. But Johnny, tell them about playing with John Wesley one night.
One of our nights that we talked about all the time, year after year after year. We were playing Fredonia Inn, and it was pretty late in the evening.
Weekend of the, no, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll shut up.
Anyway, you looked at a hallway if you're on stage, and went out back, and in came John Wesley Riles. And if you don't know him, you're missing a treat. The boy could sing. He had the most beautiful voice that I'd ever heard. It was just beautiful. And me and Steve and him, we just got along instantly. Well, it wasn't very long before he was up on stage with us, singing harmony with me to Steve singing the lead. And it just sounded so good that the club closed at 12 o'clock. So the owner didn't want anybody to go home, so he gave away drinks. We left there at 4:30 in the morning after just singing our voices out. But one of the greatest musical nights of my life.
Yeah.
It was just
and
really
what
great.
had instigated that was we had met John Wesley a few weeks, a couple of months, whatever, before that. because he was in town playing the Nacogdoches Rodeo, and he was, I don't know if it was Charlie Pride or whoever he was working with, they were all in the club that night, and we were playing. And John Wesley got up and did several songs with us, and then that night we had the surprise he was talking about. He was performing a show somewhere, I think, in the Lufkin area, had his wife Janice with him at the time, and John Wesley told his wife, said, hey, Nacogdoches is about 20, 30 miles from here. Let's go by there and see if those guys are there. And they came by and we were there. And then he just told you what happened. We played and sang till 4:30 that morning. And today, he's still a friend of ours.
Yeah.
Great, but see, that's the exciting part for performers like us. We get to meet and fall in love with other performers.
Oh, yeah.
Because we admire their talents and what they do, and hopefully they do us. So the camaraderie is just wonderful. Anyhow, we played a lot of East Texas, because that's where the bookings were. Dallas,
Clubs in
Houston, Nacogdoches, Athens, Tyler, and you get on a circuit, and you also do that as a band. You put a band together, and y'all are going to play 6 nights a week when you first start in some town. Then you'll get a booking agent, and you'll go from that town to this town to this town. So really, you come back about every 5 or 6 or 7 weeks to that same town, and you're building your following, you're building your band. Hopefully, things are going forward.
And one of our most favorite nights to sing together, we played back again at the Fredonia Inn in Nacogdoches. And when you come in, if you're going to be part of the band or people playing, you come in the back door and you walk down this small hallway, and then it opens up into, here's the long bar going to that wall. Everybody's sitting down because, again, it's a food place. Okay, they're fixing to order their food. Then the seating area goes this way as well. Stage is right over there. So we come in the back door, and what was different? This is Valentine's night, and people were standing from the time we got in the door. They were standing against the hallway all the way down and into the club. And then here, like I said, is the bar going this way. It is packed. There's wall-to-wall people standing up there, and then all the seats are clearly taken. Same thing on this side, standing room only all the way around. And again, we didn't advertise. It's the best example that we ever had of how things just kept building. And this was Valentine's night, and one of the most fun nights we ever had as a duet.
And that told us, by seeing that crowd waiting for us to come play, we said, you know what? We're so blessed. Let's take this to another level.
It became more of a conversation.
We started more of a conversation
often.
about
Yeah.
starting a band, and because we'd had so much fun as the duet. We played the Louisiana Hayride and the Ernest Tubb Midnight Jamboree, and just had so much fun doing those things together. And now it was time.
Something
we
was
thought
going on
to put together. And at one point, this would have been maybe 81. I lived in Amarillo for about a year, but I was traveling. Let me tell you, folks, it's a long way from Amarillo to Houston. It's a long way. And I drive, when I'd go to Houston from Amarillo, but I was always gone. But I got a phone call one day. It was Johnny's probation officer, as a matter of fact, looking for you.
Had a clear voice.
He did. Johnny called me and said, hey, man,
Let me tell the rest of that story. I was sitting at the bank, all right? I worked for Justin Boot Company, all right? And I was depositing my Justin check, and it hit me
$40.
like $48. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I need to call Steve. So anyway, when I got home, that's exactly what I did, and all I said was, hey, bud, we need to talk. And he said, okay. I said, I'm gonna fly out to Amarillo tomorrow, and run something by you. When I landed, first thing we did is line up the evening, which is going out to hear the best club band in the Panhandle. And we just looked at each other, and we knew we could do that. We could do that right there. And the decision was made right then. So I said I'm going to work on advertising the band, finding other players, and getting a photo session together. And then I set up a showcase where we invited different booking agents to come. I think there were 6 or 7 invited, but that's how we met John and Diana Milam, a godsend.
Yep.
They were our booking agents from day one till the very last day.
10 years.
They were just wonderful. Became dear friends, and there was no regrets there. But that's how the band got started. Anything you want to add to that?
Well, let's go get into building road cases. When you travel back in those early days, before you get to buses, you're either in a van pulling a trailer, or you're in 2 vans or a station wagon or whatever. You just get there how you get there. And you, like I say, you generally play 5 or 6 weeks in this town, then you'll leave. You'll have Sunday off to get to the next town and play there. We found in Houston what was called a trans van. Some of you know what that is. But trailers cost so much that we built ours. We bought a regular 16-foot flatbed trailer, and then a friend of mine gave us some angle iron. Yeah. Another friend welded up a big frame, and then Johnny and I put plywood on it, and we went and bought some sheet metal and riveted a skin on it and all that. It weighed 17,900 pounds when we were through. But it was our trailer, by George.
We built our trailer.
And we built road cases. I was still playing a solo. Johnny was still working with Justin, and he'd still come play with me on weekends here and there, all headed to a point to where we were going to have the band. So we rehearsed on weekends at my mother's house in Tyler, get in the garage on Sundays, and we'd rehearse. And again, you're playing top 40 songs. You're not playing original. You're playing Merle Haggard, Kenny Rogers, Alabama, George Strait. So we built trailers, we built road cases, we rehearsed, and then
found out that we couldn't move the trailer because
it's gonna take a bulldozer to move it.
It never went out on one.
But it did what we needed, and we were very blessed to do it. Eager, we got with John and Diana Milam Music Group, and Encore Entertainment. Encore was the booking agent. Milam Music Group was the John's management part of it. And we were with them 10 years, loved them dearly. We've lost John since then. But Diana is still talk to her on a regular basis. She's doing well, but great friends. And then our first booking date to ever play as Canyon.
Victoria, Texas.
November 7th, Victoria, Texas. At the Captain's Table. First song I ever played was the Bellamy Brothers.
I Love You for All the Right Reasons.
Love You for All the Wrong Reasons. And don't ask me why we remember that. And then we just started going from there. When we first started the band, and we finally got a little bit further on, this would have been in probably 86, give or take an hour and a half. We had a bus now, and we were just traveling. Johnny and I, we were based out of Dallas, even though we lived in several different cities. Our group was based out of Dallas. Johnny and I, for 4.5 years, stayed in a hotel room in Dallas, Texas. There's a Howard Johnson's on Central Expressway. And
157?
We had 157, 158. And what happened is we were always traveling. You're playing Monday through Saturday. So let's just say you're in San Angelo. It's 5.5 hours back to Dallas. So you got through on Saturday night, you'd load up, get it back into Dallas, 7 o'clock that next Sunday morning. Well, you're off Sunday. Then you're going someplace else Monday.
Didn't make any sense.
It didn't make sense to have an apartment or a house. So we shared a room. It was $30 a night. And for boys, we had a telephone, a bed, a shower, and a TV. That's all we needed. So we were there for one night. We either stayed in the room 157 or 158 for 4.5 years. That is dedication.
Or stupidity. We've talked about that too. Yeah.
But anyhow.
The first band that Steve and I put together consisted of Dennis Byram on bass and Jimmy Hughes on drums. Dennis was a great player, and he was a wonderful third-part harmony that sang harmony above me, sang higher in a cloud, but just a beautiful, clear voice. And for reasons of theirs, they both wanted to go different directions, not at the same time, but several months down the road. And from a drumming standpoint, that's when we found Rich Thurman. And Rich was a great drummer, and unfortunately he looked like a movie star. No, he's a great looking guy, great personality, real sweet guy. And for a bass player, Dennis wanted to get off the road, and we got Randy Russell Rigney at that point. And at that time the band really sounded good. It was nice and tight, the harmonies were good, and we were still swinging for the fences.
Yeah. Well, luckily for us that Randy Rigney and Dennis Byram were both from Abilene. Yeah. And luckily enough, Dennis wanted to come off the road, and Randy played with a band called Cole Younger Band. Yeah. Really good band in Abilene. And Randy wanted to go on the road. So they just switched places. Yeah. We just swapped bass players with another band. And again, we're all playing top 40 songs, so everybody pretty much already knows all the songs. In fact, every transition that we had from one player to another, all of them were swapped, like after you played one Saturday night and you're with the next band Monday. Yeah. There's no time to rehearse. You don't take 3 weeks off and work on something. You already know the songs, basically. Yeah. So, and that's done all the time. That we did that 5 or 6 times with different band members. And your first night is tomorrow night. Here we go. But it
had them a cassette tape, and they'd listen to that with headphones on going down the road. You
so
get there
anyhow,
and they'd knock a home run.
Yeah.
But that was I'm going to call that the first congealed band. It really, it took flight for quite a while. And
4-piece band.
4-piece
Because we could not afford the next magical member, which is a keyboard player. Because when you you could add one more guitar and have 5, but it wouldn't be as good as 4 and a keyboard player. Because that piano just brings in bottom and full sound.
Yeah.
But we weren't making enough to get and every band that's ever been a band can say, man, that same thing happened to us. But we were the first band, I remember this now, we were the first band. Bell Star was the club in Dallas, Texas, man. Back in the 80s, there's a lot of great clubs, but Bell Star, if you played Bell Star, you was moving on up.
Yeah.
And Diana, our booking agent, tried to get us in Bell Star for the longest time, but the owner wouldn't take a 4-piece band. He says, no,
we couldn't carry the club.
You can't carry the club with just a 4-piece band. But luckily for Canyon, we had enough body of music, but we had a lot of strong vocals.
Well, we had a standing room only at a lot of other clubs. We were playing as a 4-piece, And I think Diana used that information in our
Yeah.
in our favor as well. Got him to call the other club owners.
That's right. So they finally let us in Bellstar, and it went straight up from there. And we were blessed by that fact. Then, as time goes on, you get to a little more popularity. Your money goes up. Then you can afford another player. Then you can afford a sound man. Then you can afford a crew guy. So it's got to keep going north for that to happen. But anyhow, I'm through. Run with it.
Yeah, I was about to doze off. Anyway, again, Randy ran sound from the stage when we were that 4-piece band. But Bellstar was a big shot in the arm. It was big. It was the club, the country club in Dallas-Fort Worth. No doubt about that. And we broke all the attendance records and
Broke through windows.
well,
Yeah, just to the right of the
I
door
always
going
thought
in.
that was your fault.
Yes.
But that went really well for us in other clubs, in like surrounding area of Dallas, if you will. But great club to play, great club. And we really enjoyed our time there. It was about this time that Rich, our drummer, had a bicycle accident. And it put him out of commission, as you can imagine, being a drummer. But we had to find a replacement for him immediately and like overnight, literally. And Diana found this guy, his name was Pat Hatt. And Pat come and played drums for us, and we thought it was going to be an interim job. It turned out different than that. But Pat Hatt was our drummer, and Randy was still the bass player, and we just took the ball and ran for it.
Thank you. The song we'd like to do for you right now is very special to us. It's one that Steve wrote, and it's the song that got the attention of 16th Avenue Records back in August. So we hope you like this one right here. It's called Love Is on the Line.
Something's wrong between us, I can see it in your eyes. Things aren't like they used to be, you can see it in mine. Every day's another day we try to survive. Let's stop and think about it, love is on the line. Why don't you and me get face to face and talk about it? Maybe we can just turn our backs and walk away. Every time we try, we seem to find some way around it. We can run and hide. Love is on the line. You're not fooling me, baby, I'm not fooling you. We both choose to close our eyes. It's time we face the truth. Baby, you and I can't read each other's mind. We've got to talk about it. Love is on the line. Why don't you and me get face to face and talk about it? Maybe we can't just turn our backs and walk away. Every time we try, we seem to find some way around it. We can run and hide.
with more of New Country.
Ironically, we had spoken with Keach already because when we were trying to find someone to replace Rich for a period there, we didn't know Keach, but we knew of Keach, or Diana or John. Somebody got a hold of Keach. Then we talked to him, said, "Hey man, would you?" Because he's playing with a band in Dallas, real popular band, but Keach wanted a permanent gig. And we said, well, that's not what we're doing, right now. He said, well, maybe another time. So, but Keach said, but I know a guy, Pat Hatt, that might do it. So we talked to Pat, and Pat was a great little drummer, and so we got him. And we played and played and played and played.
Like
and
6 weeks, maybe?
Yeah, about
2 months.
Yeah, it's about 2 months or so. And it just felt like that's we needed that sound, that rhythm at that time. And then Pat was with us for a couple of months, and then he decided to come off the road. Then we called Keach now for a permanent position with Canyon. Well, as usual, we picked him up at a club one Saturday night after he played in Dallas. Got on the bus, put his drums on. We were headed straight to Odessa to do a show with Michael Martin Murphey. So it just never changes. And in the interim, in there somewhere,
he was perfect.
We got Chuck Miller was our keyboard player.
He might have been with us.
Yeah, we had never had a keyboard player. Couldn't afford one,
Yeah.
but we got Chuck Miller, great player, and he played with us for a while. That gave us more of the body that we needed. And Chuck was with us for, I don't know, maybe a year or something. And then we got Jay Brown, and you always get another player through someone that knows that person. And I don't remember who told us about Jay Brown. Somebody did. But man, I'm glad we did, because Jay was absolutely phenomenal.
Great player.
And I'll tell you straight up, and this is for all you guys out there that play drums or keyboards, but you're not the lead singer, but you're singing harmonies back there. I never really truly appreciated and didn't know that I didn't until after the fact, and you watch videos. Jay Brown played keyboards and sang harmonies when really Johnny and Randy and I were up front doing all the harmonies, but Jay was too. And now that I'm so far away from it, I watch these videos and I said, dadgum, he was good.
He was very
Jay
good.
Brown was fantastic.
Yeah.
Did a fantastic job having Keach back there. And of course, all of y'all that know us now know that Keach is with Lone Star. Been with them 26 or 7 years. And we had the best group of guys. I'll tell you, hopefully we played good music. Some of y'all thought we did, and thank you for that. Hopefully we played good music, but dadgummit, we had some good guys, good-hearted, good people. We had to live on that bus. We had to live together.
Yeah.
Because you become a family, and you're either part of it or you're not.
They were the best.
And as big as that bus is, it's real close quarters. So I thank every band member that was ever in Canyon, because it's a lot of work.
Welcome to Church Street Station. We're here at the Cheyenne Saloon and Opera House for 30 minutes of the best in live country music. This week on Church Street Station, the crowd is in for a big treat because one of the best country bands in the business is pulling up right now, and here they come, Canyon.
this time the band was together. This is the band that we ran with to the end. On bass was Randy Russell Rigney, and our drummer was Keach Rainwater. And that was the fifth and the five guys that we ran with. And Jay Brown, of course, on piano, keyboards. So the camaraderie was so good and so thick, and bus life was a hilarious time with no prima donnas, well, except for, I don't miss any names, but
That was pre, now it's post.
kind of lost my
I didn't mean to
train.
confuse you right there.
I wanted to talk about crew and sound engineers. We have to this day, a dear friend. Was from Lufkin at the time. Does he still live in Lufkin?
He's in prison. In
Still?
Lufkin, yeah.
Still?
He's in prison.
And there's Mike Austin, and Mike was what I'd have to call our first interim, every now and then, once in a while, sound guy. If we were playing someplace big that we thought was important, like a brand new Dairy Queen opening, things like that, Mike would come and run sound for us. Absolutely.
Well, we played the Nacogdoches Rodeo
Yeah.
so many times,
Yeah.
and Mike was with the sound company that provided the sound for those
That's
shows.
true. That's
and we
true.
met Mike, and we'd see him every year, and he'd just go out on the road with us, just go out there and hang and run sound. So, and he's a dear friend, and we cut up horribly.
Great guy.
But he's a great guy, and he was an integral part of.
That's a big word.
I don't have to spell it, but he was a big part, Johnny, not integral, in our sound and helping us. I want to give him all the credit, that we can. Then we had.
Well, our first full-time sound man was Mike Karen. And Mike had been running sound for the Brooks Brothers out of San Antonio.
No, I think it was the Dallas area.
Dallas?
I believe, yeah.
Very, very, very good man. But Mike started running sound for us and became just a really dear friend. He was a great, great, great guy, and he really knew his stuff. So everything just kind of elevated one more time and got a little bit nicer for us. But then that led to our final crew. And that was Barney Castro out of San Angelo.
Yeah.
He kind of took Mike Karen's place because Mike wanted to go off to college and to become smarter than you.
Yeah, and it worked.
Took
It
about
worked.
20 minutes. Barney was our sound man, irreplaceable. Just
Yes. And sadly, we lost Barney several years ago, but he was. If you didn't like Barney, you weren't breathing. He was.
Yeah,
he
something
was
wrong with you,
everybody's
not
friend.
him. Yeah.
But man,
he was like a human version of a Fizzy.
He could do the magic, and then that brought on. We're talking about sound crew now, and just crew. We had Mike, and then we had Barney, which brought on Alton LaGroppe, who sadly is not with us anymore. Then we had Brandon Bentley. Then we had Kevin Lee and Brad Boyette. And we had a whole bunch of different sound guys and crew guys. And I'm telling you, they never get the credit they deserve. But we had the best group of people. And as I repeat from earlier, we had to live together.
Yeah.
And being on that big old bus gets small with about 10 people on it.
And they took their job very, very
They did.
serious. It was personal to them. And he and I and Randy, we'd go do the radio interviews, and Jay Brown and Keith, of course. We'd go do the radio interviews or TV or this magazine or that. We could go do that and not worry about a thing. Because when we showed up at the venue that night, man, my microphone was going to be exactly right here. His was going to be the right height. Randy's would be the right height. Our instruments would be tuned, amps set. I mean, it was 99% good to go. You go up there and do your kickoff song, and that's the crew we had.
It was great.
Magical.
We had a great organization. I'm thankful for everyone that was ever involved in it, because everybody was a cog in the wheel. It took all of it. I'm not sure what a cog is. Can you explain?
You almost
I know
said
what
clog,
eggnog
which is a form of dancing, and I didn't want to go
But
there.
this was our group,
Yeah.
and everybody. People ask all the time about, well, how'd y'all get the deal? How'd you get the deal? Well, everybody has a story, but ours was really the old-fashioned way. Every band that's ever played can tell you the same story because you meet somebody every night. Hey, man, my cousin's brother's nephew's aunt's wife's dog knows Ronnie Millsap. I'll tell him about y'all. You hear that from everybody all the time, and you take it with a grain of salt and go on. Well, we always cut our demos in Abilene, Texas, at a place called Castle Sound. And that was Michael Henry Martin. Love him, dear, dear person. Also, we've sadly lost him. But at the time, that's where we cut our demos, and we had just cut a new demo in Abilene just a few months ago. And a song that I had written called Love Is on the Line was on that.
Which, by the way, don't you get away from that. Love Is on the Line, we played from the very first night of the Canyon First Band up until the very last night. Every show, never got tired of doing that song. As he did write it, and I hate saying this in front of him, but it was great. That's a great song. It had it all.
I know that hurt.
I got it. Yeah.
I know that
Yeah,
hurt.
it was tough. That was tough.
But luckily we had. But then a guy came up one night. We were there, and he said, "Hey man," and he appeared legit. How do you know? I mean, look at him. He appeared legit, and he said, "Hey, do you guys have a demo tape?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, my name is," I forgot what it was. "My name is such and such, and I work for a Southern distribution company for a record something, blah, blah, blah. I think maybe Mississippi or whatever." And he sounded legit. And he said, "Man, if you'll give me a copy of y'all's tape, my boss knows a lot of people in Nashville. Man, I like you guys. And I'll," so I said, "You know what? We got nothing." So I gave him one. And you go on about your business. And sure enough, a month or so, 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever it was, later, it turns out that his boss knew B.J. McElwee, who was with 16th Avenue Records, who we ended up signing with in Nashville. And B.J. called John Milam, our management, and they wanted to talk about a deal. So we got it off a demo tape. That's not done that much anymore, but it was back in the day with demo tapes. So that's how we got our deal, was through someone else telling someone else.
Live from Music City, USA, it's Nashville Now!
Beth was loading the car with the last of the things. When I came home today, we'd both seen it coming, and we'd made up our minds. There was no other way. I'd rehearsed how I'd say goodbye, and I thought I was six, but I hadn't rehearsed how I feel, and it scares me to death. Isn't life after bed? Well, I remember the nights that summer we met. We were so young and in love. That big Georgia moon watched our first tender kiss, and heard us promise so much. It hurts to think after all these years, memories are all I have now. Now I'm torn between still awake and alone. In the bed that we shared, what I wouldn't give just to have one more chance to tell her how much I care. She's halfway to Atlanta now, and I'm not bowing my head. She's getting on with her life, and I still don't know yet, is your life half too bad? Beth was loading the car with the last of the things when I came home today.
These guys record for 16th Avenue Records, and they are called Canyon, and we're going to get Steve over here, Mr. Boatwright.
How are you, sir?
And I have a note. I don't know whether you're aware of this, but you come highly recommended tonight.
Let's hear this.
Are you aware of this?
I don't think so, Ram.
I have a letter from the governor of the state of New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
And he said, and he was on this program recently, Be a Starcatcher, with Roger Miller and Michael Martin Murphey the night we saluted New Mexico. And he goes on, he says, New Mexicans love good country music. Canyon is one of the most talented bands around. They have played in New Mexico on a regular basis, including the governor's mansion and with Michael Martin Murphy during the Republican governor's conference in Santa Fe. I'm glad to hear they are playing on Nashville Now, and Kathy and I will be tuning in your program tonight in Santa Fe. So
that's great.
They're watching.
Thanks. Hi, Gov. Thank you, Governor. There's a little story that goes with that, Ralph.
Excuse me?
There's a little story that goes with that. We played the governor's birthday also. And after the show was over, we told him that, we call him Gov, we're on a first name basis. And he helped us load out equipment.
Now, I'm talking about, I didn't mention that his name is Gary Carruthers.
Yes.
He helped you load your equipment?
Yeah, we put him to work.
They load all the gear up and put it on the bus with us. This was about 4 years ago, probably.
What you done with that, Hoyt? Make him go to work?
I like those governors, all right.
Were you at the mansion?
Yes, sir, Played his private birthday party at the governor's mansion in New Mexico.
So, and you also obviously worked in his campaign.
No.
Well, no, we didn't. We played several
No.
shows for them. In fact, we played a convention also in Santa Fe.
Governor's Republican Convention.
Republican convention.
What did the governor, what did he pick up and move? I'm trying to get this mental picture.
We're just loading equipment onto the bus.
Amplifiers, PA
guitars,
speakers.
stuff.
He just grabbed one end of it and went to work.
We made him pay us anyway, don't get me wrong. Yeah.
Well, this was a paying gig?
That's right. Very, very nice gentleman and
Nice
family.
folks.
Well, obviously, he's very impressed with you.
Well, thanks.
He's good people.
Thanks, Governor.
We're going to take a little break. You're watching Nashville Now. We'll be back right after this.
I want us both to talk a little bit about that first night that we met John and Diana Milam. Again, a true godsend to us. But we had invited 6 or 7 different booking agencies to come and hear us. We were in Nacogdoches, and we set this up as a showcase. And that's where the agents come and they listen to you, and if they like you, they offer to sign you with their booking agency or not, or whatever. And we saw a few of them, visited with a few of them, but it was the visit that we did with John and Diana Milam that it sealed the deal. And it's one of the most, I started to say fortuitous, but can you
Want me
look
to spell
up?
that? Let me
No,
look
I
that up
got it.
for you.
Meetings that we ever had. Sweetest people in the world. They believed in us so much that every time we were around them or on the phone or wherever, you got that feeling that, man, you guys you're our number one. You are who we promote. In a perfect world, as a band, that's exactly what you want. And we were fortunate to meet them the very first night that we did the showcase. And we love you, Diana. We do for a fact.
We do. When 16th Avenue Records contacted John Milam, well, now we go for a meeting. We drive to that. Now, again, we're based out of Dallas, but we do a lot in Nashville, things over there. So we go to Nashville and we meet with Jerry Bradley, who is the president of the label. Now, Jerry was with RCA for 30 years, and he actually signed Alabama, I think in 1980, to the RCA label. So Jerry liked what he saw in us, so we met with him, and we signed with the label in, I think, around August of 87. And we were with them through 90. And I'll tell you, they believed in us, because at the time, this was 87, and I believe the label, now bear in mind, and we'll discuss this later also, that 16th Avenue Records was owned by Opryland USA. And we all know that back in the 80s, Opryland was as big as anything in this country. So they opened their own label. And I'm going to assume, because I don't know, that they opened that label around 84, 85. We signed in 87. But at the time, they had Charlie Pride and Neil McCoy, John Conley, Johnny Russell, Vicki Bird, Randy Van Warmer. They had a pretty good little stable there. Then they signed us. And they put all their efforts into us. And they were a new label, a young label, trying to get their own foot in the door. Yeah. We were a new young group trying to get our own foot in the door. But together, it worked out great. So we had a great relationship with 16th Avenue Records.
Got behind us. There was no complaints in that department.
There wasn't.
They worked their fanny off.
They did a tremendous.
Can I say fanny?
You can. You can say fanny on this show.
A little medley of cowboy songs for you, and here again is Canyon.
This valley, they say you won't live. I will miss your bright eyes and bright smile. They say you are taking the sunshine that is bright my path for a while. Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me Just remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy that loves you so true. All day I face the barren waste without the taste of water, cool water. Oh, Dan and I, with throats been dry and souls that cry for water. Dan, don't you listen to him, Dan. He's a devil, not a man. He spreads the burning sand with water. Oh, Dan and I, with throats burned dry and souls that cry for water. Clear water, cool, clear water. See them tumbling down, pledging their love to the ground. Know your feet I'll be fine, drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweed. Cares of the past are behind, nowhere to go but I'll find just through the trail of wide, drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweed. I know when night is gone, that a new day breaks at dawn. I'll keep rolling along, deep in my heart is a song. Here on the range I belong, drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweed, drifting along with the tumbling
just going through some of these old pictures here. I hate to say it, but I always look better than Johnny, but Johnny knows it, and he's not bitter anymore.
You've never brought that up.
I've never brought it up before. I mean, look at this picture. This is Billy Bob's, and it was just a hoot. So thankful we got to play there. So many good ones. Fanfare. Gosh, they're everywhere. What was it called? The American Games that we played in Nashville during Fanfare.
Something like that.
All the artists got together and played.
Like an actual Olympics, actually. It was very competitive.
Something like an Olympics. Let's see. Here is old Billy Bob's. Now, some of you don't know this, but at Billy Bob's, once you perform there, they make this thing here out of some type of concrete mixture, put your handprints in it, and write your name on it, and it goes on the wall. And there's just hundreds of them that stays there for, forever.
Or 20 or 30 minutes.
Here's one that Johnny, we had to Photoshop this a lot.
I did.
In fact, he got all his teeth in that one. It was working out really nice.
You always like this picture because of the colors. I think this is Fanfare, you think?
Let's see
You're better at that than me.
Gosh, it could be Fanfare. That could be Alabama's June Jam.
Yeah.
For that matter, with that much air up in the background. This was on a Hee Haw.
Sound check.
Sound check, yeah. And
there's a shot of a Music Row magazine cover.
Yeah.
We were very flattered to get that. Here's a fantastic shot of Randy. I just think that one's wonderful. Randy Rigney.
It is. And speaking of that, we came across this, which is Barney and Randy and Alton, and bless their hearts, all three are not with us any longer. Yeah. But to have a picture of all three of them is unusual.
Wasn't staged.
I'm glad it wasn't staged.
That's years after Canyon had come off the road.
Oh, it was. This was way after the fact. And here's a Big Red. Many of y'all recognize our bus. We called it Big Red. And probably, Johnny, because it was big and red. I'm just saying. I went out on a limb with that.
That's what you were always so sharp.
Oh, Johnny has all his teeth in that picture for sure. Two of them are whitened in, but that's a good shot of the old boy.
This is a little story to this one. This is a shot that we had. It never lost any momentum. And we did this really early on, like right after this group was formed. We did it in Louisville, Texas, and the photographer charged us $125. Now, I'll come across it here in a minute. We did another shot after this one, and it was $1,500. Pretty normal, actually, but it never did compete with this. Yes.
Well, then why did you say yes when I told you?
Why didn't I have that? I had it here and you moved it. So, anyway, just shows you how that side of the industry goes.
Some of these I haven't seen in years. Some I haven't seen at all. But they're great. On Hee Haw, Your Gloom, Despair, and Agony on Me. That was so much fun to do. Here's one of yours truly. What you got there, Johnny?
That's another band shot. Shoot, I should say. A little different than the other one. You're constantly trying to update your concessions, if you will, and as you update your photos for autograph purposes, you do that because nobody, in theory, was going to buy another copy of one they already own. So
this was 1988, Tower Records in Nashville, and during Fanfare, a lot of artists would come during the day to do little 3 or 4 song shows for fans that would come by for that purpose. Garth Brooks was not Garth Brooks yet, but he was just coming onto the scene. And I didn't remember this till someone told me on Facebook a year or two ago. they had sent a picture similar to this to me, and they were there. And they said that Garth Brooks was there, and he didn't know he was supposed to sing, so he borrowed my guitar where he could go sing. So I'd just like to say that royalties on that by now, as I said, it's about 88.
Can't be estimated.
Can't be estimated. No. So I'll take a check, Garth, 100,000.
Let that puppy fly.
Let that puppy fly. There you go. This bunch right here, Crooked Chase, we had more fun on that show because we're crazy and they are crazy.
Well, they could dish it
and
right
I'm
back.
telling you, they were the best host you could possibly, because they treated you, I don't care if you had out one record or 30. They treated you like you were a star, and we admire them for that. Now, every year at Fanfare, in fact, the last few years at Fanfare, each band or each artist always had a picnic for your fans. It'd be on a certain day at a certain time. So we finally combined our picnic with Exile.
Yeah.
And this is a picture of Johnny at bat there, and look right here. I've seen better legs than a bucket of chicken. But he's standing on those things. Look, Johnny, you're standing.
Still getting around.
You're standing straight up.
Still getting around.
Seen better legs hanging out of a nest.
That's cold. Really
That's cold.
hurt a lot.
That hurts, doesn't it?
There's another picture in here of...
top 10 videos.
Yeah.
89, I believe.
Yep.
No, 90. Canyon Carrying On was the #1 video in the country, in country music, and you see the top of the list. Let's see who follows that. Let's see, Canyon, Randy Travis, Alabama, Tanya Tucker, Jan Brown, Marty Stewart, Garth Brooks. I've heard that name. Anyhow, it was cool. Those were fun times back then. Look at those teeth. Look at that hair. Hair was happening. Aquanet. It cost 89 cents.
Who knew, right?
Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
And guys, here's an area where we are so truly blessed. None of these photos were taken by us. None of them. They were taken by you and sent to us or to our booking agency or our manager, John Milam. That's how all of this happened. And I can't put into words how grateful we've always been for these photos. It helps us just relive a very big and important time for us.
And I can speak for a lot of artists. I won't be as boring as he is.
Try
I
to.
can speak for a lot of artists and saying, to add to that, when we did a television show, Nashville Now, Crooked Chase, whatever it may be, we never saw it. And they did the other artists. We were on the show. You saw it because you were watching. We never saw it. So the only way we could see those things is when fans like yourselves, now this back in the days of these big VHS, cassettes the size of a shoebox. And fans like you would tape us on all these shows and then mail one to our management. And then they'd give it to us or make a copy of it. Otherwise, when so many of these pictures, they'd send into our management.
Yeah.
And without you guys, there's no artist anyhow. There's no singers without you guys.
You made it possible.
So you made
for
it
us
possible
to relive some wonderful times. We had a video VHS player on our bus, and the TV and everything, and that's when we would get a chance to watch a tape for the first time and see how did we do, how did it sound, and it was always a blessing.
Getting to do, our job is like your job. You go to it every day and you work harder and hopefully you gain momentum to, let's say, get a promotion. We get promotions. Yeah. We try to inch up the ladder and get a record that was 40, now it's 32 and so forth. But getting to do shows like Hee Haw, just that show had been around forever. And then one day your management gets a letter in the mail.
Yeah.
We want Canyon to appear on Hee Haw. What?
That was a big deal.
Oh man, and we
really
did it twice.
deal.
We did it once with Reba McEntire, once with Tammy Wynette. And it was so much fun. But one of our bigger thrills, and all of them were, but one of them was in 88 and 89, we played June Jam in Alabama. Now Alabama, the group Alabama, they were from Fort Payne. And they did a benefit every year, and I don't recall what the benefit was, but it was a benefit. They did it in Fort Payne, Alabama, and it was at the Fort Payne, if I remember right, at the Fort Payne High School, huge field there beside it. 2 phenomenal stages set up side by side, sound system, lighting everywhere. And there were probably 30, 40 artists.
Easily.
Easily, if not more.
Yeah.
And music started, I believe, at 10 a.m. that morning. Yeah. And I think
And
Alabama came on about
a sea of people.
Oh yeah, 45, 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And I believe Alabama, of course, they were last. They were the headliner. Wonder why. They came on about 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock that night. So it was continual music while one stage was performing. This stage was setting up. So when this performer ended, this performer started. And then it
Seamless.
kept
Seamless.
that.
Yeah.
I've never been to a more organized event in my life, bar none. When we pulled up there, in fact, I was driving the bus. When we pulled up there was buses lined up, and they had people there, staff, that were parking the buses. And they had you pull up and back in. You were lined up. You could put a tape on it and a ruler and everything. It was flawless. And they had
It really was.
huge tent back there for meals and all that. Free helicopter rides for
And this was behind the
artists.
fence.
This is behind stage. Now this
on the
is
side of the fence was
yeah.
the
This is all backstage.
huge bunch of people.
And I tell you, we did that in '88. Thought, man, it can't get any better. Then we got called to do it again in '89. So it did get better.
Yeah.
So that was some of the perks and things that we enjoy. We enjoy things just like you enjoy them. Yeah. There's some shows we're gonna do this that you think, man, can't wait till the last song. I'm ready to go home. And there's some you don't want the last song to ever come because you're having so much fun, enjoying the people. But the graciousness of the group Alabama and their whole staff for that event was wonderful.
Nothing else you could have hoped for or wished for. It was perfect. It was just perfect. Hey, you ought to tell that story about Keach when he got arrested.
I don't know anything about it.
Of course you don't.
I had
and
nothing.
he knows that.
Had nothing to do with it. We were playing a show in Livingston, Texas.
Oh, you remember that.
And it was a show for the high school. And it was called STAND, S-T-A-N-D, which students take action, not drugs. How about that? So I'm from Nacogdoches, and Nacogdoches to Livingston was, I don't know, a couple hours or so. So I knew a highway patrolman, state trooper, that lived in Livingston. So I called him and said, hey, when we get there to set up, I want you to come by there and arrest our drummer. He said, what for? I said, it don't matter, just take him off. And sure enough, couldn't have planned it better. We're inside I think we maybe just finished sound check. Somebody comes in and says, hey, Keach, a couple of highway patrolmen out here, or there's a highway patrolman out here that needs to talk to you. And of course, I know what's going on, and I look at Keach, and he's got that gone with the wind look on his face. So we all follow him out there, and my friend, Bobby, said, are you Randall Keach Rainwater? He says, yes, sir. And about that time, I couldn't have planned this. This was wonderful. This trooper brought his partner. And
Which is still getting out of the
once
car.
Keach came out there, and the trooper saw him, he opened that door and got out of the car. He was about 6'6" or 7", about 300 pounds, just a monster of a man. And I just thought. So he walks over there now, and now it's really getting tricky. And are you Randall T. Rainwater? Yes, sir. Well, we have a warrant for your arrest. What'd I do? He said, we don't know. They just said, we have a warrant and you got to go with us. So they walked off and got in the car and drove off. I just thought, this couldn't have been better. Couldn't have been better. But they got on down the road and they let the cat out of the bag, brought him back. And to this day, I don't think he's ever
Forgiven.
well, I know that.
That's the word you're looking
I know
for.
that has happened. I don't think he's ever tried to get me back that I know of, but where's that glue that one time is? But anyhow, we've had a lot of experiences like that.
Yes,
and
we do.
Y'all don't know this about us. I was one of the bus drivers the whole time of Canyon. One of the bus drivers, I was the bus mechanic.
Yep.
Johnny took care of T-shirts and graphics and colors and hats and all those things, and I kept the bus running. Now, I'm not a mechanic. I've got just enough to ruin it. But I keep the bus rolling. And we were in Rushton, Louisiana, and something happened to the bus. I pulled over in the parking lot. And the bus is about this high off the ground now, guys. And I'm crawled up under it and working on something. And a guy pulls up, sees the name on the bus, he knows it's us. He pulls up and walks up to I got 2 feet sticking out. Looks like the Wizard of Oz when the house sitting down on the witch.
Yeah,
just the 2 feet
just like
sticking
that.
out. And I'm under there, and I mean literally, the top of my socks is right. That's how far under there I was. And finally, Bubba, our driver, comes out of the bus, says, can I help you? Yeah, I just want to talk to this guy a minute. Well, I couldn't have talked to him if he'd want to give me $500 cash. I couldn't have got up under the bus. So anyhow, I got nowhere to go with that except just more bus stories.
Was this the guy who walked up though and said, "What you doing?"
It has to be.
Yeah.
I just out here smoking.
Yeah.
Taking a break.
Tell you a little bit about Randy Russell Rigney. Funny. Just throw down funny. We pull up to Diesel up the bus, and he was known to go inside and look for a tabloid that was out way back then. May still be, I don't know, called National Enquirer. And it was the biggest junk stories you could possibly imagine. Woman has 3-headed monkey for a baby, that kind of stuff. That's one of the ones that was actually true, I think.
I have pictures to prove it.
So, Randy would go in to get these copies, come out. It's like a little newspaper, a little smaller. But he had a pair of horn-rimmed glasses, glassing of just the frames. And he'd put them on and talk like this very educated professor. And he would read through that Enquirer all these stupid, bizarre, strange stories like they were true, like they were gospel. And he'd just keep you cracked up. Never broke a grin or nothing.
Is that all there was?
That's all there was. It was a very short story.
I thought you had something to say. I'll tell you what, life on the road, we loved it. I loved it. It's what you did. And you don't have time to think about, I'm tired of traveling. I'm tired of this. I want to stay home. If you ever get in that mode, then you're in the wrong business. So we loved it, but was it all? It wasn't always fun. It's a lot of work. Living with anywhere from 8 to 10 guys on a bus all this time. We made trips. We made some 4-hour trips, and we made some 14-hour trips.
Yep.
And the longest trip we ever made, if I recall, was from Brownsville, Texas, to Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yep.
The 2 most southern points in the U.S. And we had like 24 hours to get there or something. And of course that bus would go 500 miles without stopping. And we only stopped to Diesel and go, but that bus is saying, well, you got beds, you got bunks, but there's still a moving. It's an 18-wheeler. It's still a moving. Every bump you hit, you feel. Now, I'm not complaining, I'm explaining. It was fun, but it wasn't always comfortable. Tell the story about Bubba and Jay Brown coming out of Dumas, Texas.
That's a good one. The boys had just gotten a CB radio, I guess you would say, and we had just left this club and loaded up, dieseled up, headed down the road. Bubba told, I think it might have been Keach, said, go get Steve. Get him right now. Steve is back in his bunk. So they go down the hall, find Steve. Get up. Bubba wants you right now. So he gets up and he goes up to Bubba. And Bubba's telling him, there's this guy calling in, said he's going to whoop your rear end, pull over this bus. He wants you right now. You mess with his girlfriend, and he's PO'd. So, this gets back to our Steve is hearing this story, and it's like, who could it be? I didn't do anything. The whole deal was Jay Brown was doing this voice over the PA to Bubba, and Bubba thought it was a guy in a truck behind the bus. And Jay Brown was imitating this hick of a guy, just PO'd completely, and he sold the program. I mean, it was legit. And this went back and forth. And I think in the end, Jay came out of the bathroom, came up to Bubba, and talked through the microphone or walkie-talkie probably. And that's when Bubba caught on that it was not for real.
And not very funny.
Yeah, and Steve found out at the same time. It was hilarious.
Oh, it was funny at the time, but we didn't do a whole lot to each other because you were afraid they'd do it back to you.
Oh yes.
while you were asleep.
Yeah, but Jay was great. He was a very talented guy, but he could do the strangest voices. And
he and Keach both.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man, they could go on with every cartoon character you ever heard of.
Here's Billboard Magazine's choice for top new group of 1989.
5 wild and crazy guys.
Canyon.
Don't leave me here, treading water. Let me sing, or let me swim. Make up your mind, girl, you gotta
Now, 1989 was a real turning point, a pivotal year. At least in country, that's a big word.
Pivotal?
Pretty good for Nacogdoches.
You're stretching today.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Because 89 was the year we went from cassette to CD.
Yeah.
And 89 was the year that we had the first country music television videos.
Yep.
MTV had videos for 10 years, but not country music. So really, honestly, a lot of the big heads in Nashville were nervous about that. The record labels a little bit, well, that CD won't work. Well, that's what they said about the cassette coming from the 8-track. And now we have country music videos. So really it wasn't, there was a lot of nervousness about that.
They ain't cheap.
It's more money to spend, and you've got the old Nashville money that that thought this wasn't going to work because they didn't have the new visions like someone else did. We had a lot of video success, and we were some of the earlier ones to be on those videos. That we did a lot of TV, but what's different then and the last few years is that we had 2 number 1 videos, and one was Video of the Year. Well, the difference then is, hey, you got number 1 video, good job. Nice.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's it. And you were glad you got it, but now it's a category. And Video of the Year goes to, and you walk on stage and get you a big trophy.
Exactly like
just
that,
like
too.
that.
Yeah, just like
and you walk up and it's a category to all the award shows. And you get a big trophy, you go sit on your mantle just like it was if you got Entertainer of the Year. Same trophy. But you know what? That just means you were pioneers. That's just the way that works.
They were hard to read.
But
the first 4 videos were done by a different director.
Different director, that's right.
And wasn't anything wrong with them. They just didn't tell the story of who we were.
Yeah, and I give 100% credit to Johnny, which is hard to do.
That was difficult.
But I give it to him anyhow. Johnny was the one that told me, he said, man, I just don't think we're getting out. I'm not gonna name any names.
We'd actually gone into town.
We're not getting what I don't think out of the video.
The image.
The imagery, anyhow, it was all Johnny that went to Mr. Bradley, president of the label, and said, man, we don't want to use this guy anymore.
I went there to get rid of Steve, but he wasn't for that. So
I'm like a roach. I'll come back tomorrow, man.
No, the deal was, we came into town, we were going to shoot Carrying On, a song I very much believed in. We were going to shoot it the very next day. And I went to the phone and called the director of tomorrow's video. And we talked for just a few minutes, and he told me that, well, I just sit down to write the storyboard. And that offended me because that should have been done 2 weeks before. He should have revised it 15 times, kind of a thing. But it told me that it proved to me that why the other 4 videos were like they were. Somebody's not taking our career as serious as we do, and that just wasn't going to work. So I remember I was down the hallway at this restaurant, and I went back to the table. Cooper and John Milam, our manager, was there, and I think Randy was there too. And I came back, and we just driven into Nashville from Dallas just to shoot. And I said, we're not doing the video tomorrow, just like that. And much to his credit, he just said why. He started crying. I remember that.
Yeah, I'm still crying.
Yeah. No, it was him and John. They were all very supportive of my decision. I told them why, of course. And so the very next day, we had a meeting with Mr. Bradley.
We did.
And I told him that I didn't want that director doing this next video. That other director was sitting right there, and he turned to him and said, I don't think we need you anymore. Very polite. And that guy got up and threw the storyboard down on the coffee table in Mr. Bradley's office, and he kind of stormed out of the office, and that's fine. Mr. Bradley asked, how are you going to do this? And I said, I'll be responsible for finding the next director, and I believe fully that I can do that. And he gave us that permission and told us what the budget was. And I went home and watched videos for a couple of days. Now, the advantage I had was every artist that came on was somebody that we knew. We knew what they were like. We knew them as people. And I just wanted to see the ones that told me, like he had done several for Michael Martin Murphey, who we had known for a long time, opened shows for him for a long time, and Michael was great. And, you know, I wanted to know who that director was. Come to find out, it was Michael Merriman. So I still keep watching, and I saw this repetition from this guy actually lived in Amarillo. And I called Michael to see if I could come talk to him. He knew Canyon because we had played Amarillo on a regular basis over the years. And he said, sure, come on up. So I fly up the next day, and I've got this cassette of Carrying On, and I go up and sit in the office, and Michael puts it on the stereo, listens to it, runs it all the way back, listens to it again, runs it all back, and we're about halfway through the third time, and he just turned around, looked at me, and says, we got this. That was his words. And I had total faith in him. I came back and told Cooper and got the word to John, our manager, that we found our guy. This is our guy. That was our first number one. He also did the second song, Damn These Tears, and that was our second number one video by Michael Merriman. Very blessed to have ever met him, that's for sure.
It's a small town. Everybody knows every secret, even though he tries hard to keep it. He's carrying on. You see him driving out the old road to see her. Somehow he just cannot leave her. He's carrying on. When you love someone, it's hard to let that someone go. When deep down in your heart you know you're never gonna find it again. She's younger, God help him, 'cause he finds her so lovely. Makes him feel just like he was 20 again, and carrying on. That ties him to someone who keeps reaching. Every night that someone keeps praying, he'll start carrying on. When you love someone, it's hard to let that someone go. When deep down in your heart you know you're never gonna find it again. It's a small town. Everybody knows every secret, even though he tries hard to keep it. He's carrying on.
people ask us all the time, and ask each other all the time, hey, whatever happened to Canyon? Man, what happened to them? We loved them. They were good, man. Why aren't they still out there? Well, we've all got a story to tell. All the bands do.
Yeah.
Here's what happened to us. When I can say it in one word, contracts. Contracts was the catalyst that killed our momentum by this. We were in Albuquerque shooting 2 new videos, had a brand new album that was ready to be released. Wasn't released, but we released a single from it called Damn These Tears. That was from our 3rd album that never was released. So we get a phone call. The label just closed.
Yeah.
Wow. Could have knocked us over with a feather. We had no knowledge of that. But they said, go ahead and finish the 2 videos you're doing. Well, the label had a plan, but we didn't know it. Now, I mentioned earlier on that the label was 16th Avenue Records, but it was owned by Opryland. Our contract was with Opryland. We played music for 16th Avenue. So the record label closed. Our contract did not close. It's with Opryland. We had 10 months left on a contract. No record label, no more TV, no radio,
No promotion.
no promotion, no marketing. You know, that's all of it, guys. You can have the best product there is in the country, but if nobody can hear about it, you don't have a product. So now we're...
I like the way you explained it one day. I thought it was pretty good, which surprised me, by the way. You were talking about this guy over here at this label might think, well, I love those guys.
Oh,
I don't
getting to
like
that.
their music.
If you'll quit interrupting, I'll get to that. Let me tell the story.
Go ahead.
43 years of this. So anyhow, now we're cutting these new videos and don't know why. Well, the label had a plan, and I do not disagree with them. Not mad at them, never have been mad at them. I've done the same thing. They had a plan. They were going to try to sell our new album, ready to go to press right now. They've already cut all the songs, ready to go to press. 2 new videos. The price was $225,000, $235,000, $45,000, doesn't matter, $250,000. If somebody walks into my office with that offer, right, that product, wanting me to buy this band and this 10-month contract, here's my choices. I like to listen to the album and say, you know what? I love every song on that album, but I've never liked those guys. Or they can say, man, I love those guys. They're great. I hate every song on that album. I rather use my own songs. Or they could say, love those guys, love this album, but we've already got 4 bands. We need a duo. We need a single. So there's a lot of reasons you don't get picked up, which got nothing to do with your talent or your ability, or maybe it does. But now we're held up. We can't shop for a deal. We can't do anything.
Still under contract.
We're still under contract. So we're just out there beating the bushes, trying to make it work. And then you get on down the road and then our bus catches on fire. Well, that slows you up a little.
Yeah.
And then the bus caught on fire, and the next day I'm already on the phones with some other people, me and the guy that helps him with the buses. We'd already found another one in Phoenix, going to try to get it down. Then I find out the next day that we got an insurance problem. They don't want to pay you what the policy says for the bus. How many of y'all ever heard of something like that? So now, all these dominoes keep falling in, and we're still under contract. Can't do anything. So contracts killed us. It killed our momentum. But I'm mad. I'm mad and angry at no one. If I was a label, I'd try to sell those records too. I'd try to do that same thing to recoup some of that money. Now the insurance company, hope your bus catches on fire and you don't get your money for it.
I had left the group March 31st of 91. So from that moment, he became Steve Cooper and Canyon. Those are things he's been boring you with for the last, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or an hour, has to do with him and his guys being on the road. They could play. Great band. But that's what he's talking about now. Canyon didn't get repurchased, recontracted. It just didn't.
You know what, and I left some of that out. Thank you for interrupting me that time.
It's always my pleasure.
Because we were based out of Dallas, and I decided to move the organization from Dallas to Nashville. Well, some of the boys didn't want to go. Randy didn't want to go, Jay Brown didn't want to go, and Keach didn't want to go. Well, that's okay. They want to stay back in Dallas, and that's fine. But now here I am. I got to put a new band together, or go to work at a Waffle House, just whatever. So they don't pay that much anymore either.
Not anymore.
So we put a new band together because, like, every musician knows a musician. Hey, I know a buddy. I'll call him. And I had
the warehouses.
We rehearsed. There's a section in Dallas off 635. It's called the Warehouse District. There's old warehouses.
Isn't that clever?
And yes, it is.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of rehearsal halls in there. You can rent one of these big warehouse rooms, go in and set your equipment up. It's under lock and key, and you come in and rehearse all you want. So we rehearsed with this new band. Then I had Diana, our booking agent, book us in Canada
for a month.
A whole month of January or February, or whatever it was. Snow this deep, I know that. And we rehearsed. We went up, got up every morning because we were playing pretty much in 4 different locations. And then we went on until all the dominoes kept falling out of line. But the bottom line was that I wanted to be, Canada's fine, I don't live in Canada, but I had to make my living in the U.S. So, and Diana knew she was going to book us up there. We were going to go to the clubs every day and rehearse. Play that night, rehearse the next day. Play that night, rehearse the next day. And we got Tyler No J's Club. It was a great group. And so we came back to Texas and we played till the bus burned. And then we had to...
Which is a goal.
It was a goal. The bus caught on fire and we borrowed a friend of mine had a friend that borrowed a Winnebago from a guy, Neil McCoy, loaned us his trailer. Most of our equipment was salvaged from the bus fire, not all of it. So we put a hodgepodge in, just trying to keep it going, to get another bus, and we found out insurance problems and blah, blah. So anyhow, it just came time to hang it up. And I don't have a single regret. We had the best time. I loved the label loved us. It just didn't work out for something on their side.
Chilling to the bone. It's never warm since you've been gone. Building wall, holding back this hurt. Moving mountain wouldn't be enough. My trembling hand, I bite my lip to keep from crying again. Rolling
we had to make a decision there in the end, and it was hard to do. I'd played music like most musicians since I was 12 years old, and you play in little local bands and things your whole life, and you dream of being on the stage, much less a bus. But that time had come. There were decisions to be made, and I disbanded the band in fall of '92. Had the best group of guys in the world.
Yeah, you did.
There was never a
Great
member.
crew.
There was never a member of the Canyon band from '82 through '92 that wasn't a precious part of the group, because everybody had a part to play. Our crew guys, Mike Hawkins and Brad Boyette and Kevin Lee and all these crew guys, everybody helped us. Michael Austin, everybody helped us so much. And if you was with us for 5 years, 3 years, 6 months, you did your part. We're very grateful for it.
Yeah.
When I disbanded the group, those guys all went on to Mike Tucker, our drummer. No, this has been 30 years ago, guys. I hate to say it, 30 years ago since Canyon disbanded. Mike Hawkins went to the drummer to the Bellamy Brothers. Joey Click, great bass player, singer, went to Trace Atkins. Michael Britton and Keith Rainwater went to a band called Texas Sea that turned into Lone Star. Jeff McMahon, keyboard player, went to Tim McGraw for about 18 years. So that was the quality of all of those players. They were great. We get asked all the time, "Hey man, you guys still play? Y'all play anymore?" Well, sometimes we play some, but you know what? We have, and when we do, and I'm gonna give he and I no credit, and give so much credit to Rebecca Stewart, which is a girl that I've known her whole life, because she's 25 years younger than us, or 30.
Yeah.
But
monster harmony singer.
Great harmony singer. And we would get together acoustically.
Yeah.
We called it Canyon Unplugged, of course. We made that up, it's original. And we would have so much fun just playing. She was fantastic.
Yes.
We don't play much anymore. We've all got kids, we've all got jobs. And let me tell you, people, you've said your whole life, or you've heard your whole life, I bet that was a blessing in disguise. Let me tell you what, guys. If we had won that ACM award in '91, if we had won it, it would have moved us up one notch in the food chain and put you in some different circles and moved up a little higher, bigger money, this and that. But we didn't win. And shortly after that, because of the circle I was still in, I met Rosemary, my wife-to-be. And if I had never met her, I wouldn't have my 3 beautiful kids and her and this life that I have now. My family was in construction when I was growing up. I've had construction, the Lord has blessed me. I can drive bulldozers and dump trucks, and I can just about do anything because I'm blessed. So I knew I would have a job doing something when I got out of music.
In my case, jump in there a little bit. My daughter, Brandy, my wonderful daughter, Brandy, who is an incredible singer, she was born in '79, 2 months before I met Yahoo over here. And when I left Canyon in '91, and I met, reacquainted with Sherry, we had a beautiful son, just a magnificent son. And what was his name? Sam.
I've heard him call him Sam, but I'm not sure.
He is incredible, and he's the love of my life. So there's 20 years exactly difference between my daughter and my son. But like he said, if we'd have stayed in Canyon, Sam would have been born, I don't think, or have been, no telling where I would have been, who I'd have been with. So it's God's grace that it turned out exactly like it did. And neither one of us have any regrets when it comes to our kids. They're all wonderful, even his.
And
even his.
when mine got out of jail.
Yeah.
They and I'll tell you, this is an extreme old cliche, and everybody says it.
Well, then don't say
And
it.
I gotta say it because it's not a cliche, it's true. I don't care how well you sing, how well you play. If there's not someone to listen to it, to appreciate it, then you have nothing. There's not one artist worth 15 cents without you guys.
Nope.
I promise you. And thank you now because, man, we still have today on Facebook, we still have over 600 fan club members active, still putting. You can look on what a Canyon band of the 80s and 90s. Pull it up. There'll be videos and pictures. I have no idea how they got on there. Some of y'all put them on there, but you pull it up. I mean, see, that's how y'all stick with somebody.
Yeah.
We've been out of this the eye for 30 years, but y'all are still looking at us, and we thank you for that.
We love you. We do. Absolutely. So it means a great deal to us, and we're very thankful. You make us feel very humble. Thank you for the love, the attention, the kind words that you say. Well, to me, I appreciate that very, very much. And we'll see you down the street.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Let me sing. every secret, even though he tries hard to keep it. He's carrying on. You see him driving out the old road to see her. Somehow he just cannot leave her. He's carrying on. When you love someone, it's hard to let that someone go. When deep down in your heart you know you're never gonna find it again. She's younger, God help him 'cause he finds her so lovely. Makes him feel just like he was 20 again, and carrying on. There's a gold band that ties him to someone who keeps waiting. Every night that someone keeps praying, he'll start carrying on. When you love someone, it's hard to let that someone go. When deep down in your heart you know you're never gonna find it again. It's a small town, everybody knows every secret, even though he tries hard to keep